Hello there. Happy Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock at Pacific Daylight Time. And this is Sandra Longmore of Creating Calm Network and my own label, sandralongmore.com, bringing to you a Google Plus broadcast on some great information. Great that's going to make you feel how to get off the razor's edge. So my topic today is, are you sick and tired and want it better right now? You want it over, done, or else. Well, this is what you call a severe stage in a trap. Not a good feeling whatsoever. Now, if you remember in the last two broadcasts, I talked about stage 1, which was the ho-hum life. Same old, ho-hum. No vitality there. And how that ho-hum life is really a very, very silent killer of passion, vigor, energy for anything. Why go around just feeling like, oh well, when you could be going around and thinking, oh, there's something great around this next corner for me, full of discovery and expectancy. Now, then, the next broadcast I did was the moderate stage of change, of wanting change or being in a trap. And that's why you might be thinking, I really do want things better in my life. I just really do. Now, you may have taken action from last week's broadcast and grabbed on. And I entitled that one the Cannonball Express. So maybe you could grab on and jet propel yourself out of that stage by becoming more aware from the tools and inspirations that I gave you to not get in that trap in the first place. And that's the best tool, is don't get in the darn trap in the first place. You realized from last week that you are not a victim. You're not in a trap. And you're not going to get any place at any time if you keep on whining about the trap, bargaining about how to get out of the trap, or cry to others that you're in the trap. If you do any of those things, you're not going to be making any progress to your hopes and dreams. Now, that was step 1 of your learning that I just said. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Just stay out of that darn trap. So just a little review here. Stage 1, which was a separate broadcast, it was on She of 19. I think it was 19, 20, 21. Yeah, 19. So that was the ho-hum life. And then the next broadcast was on, I really do want to get out of that trap. And that was the Get on That Cannonball Express. And then this week is the third stage. And the third stage is, I'm just sick and tired of this trap. Get me out of here. I'm on the razor's edge and I don't like it and I want off and I want to be free and happy and successful and abundant and have money in my bank. So that's what's coming up today. But first, let's go through that learning again about last week. So last week was number 20 on She, and that is pretty obvious, really, what the best learning was, is just don't get in the trap in the first place. Now, you also looked at, last week, we also looked at successful people that overcame things that were very, very hard to overcome, and not only got out of their traps, but thrived, just thrived. And one person we looked at was Nelson Mandela. You remember that? Yeah, well, he was most certainly in a big trap. In jail is a big trap. But he got out, and then he not only got out, he thrived and, took his country into being more thriving. So last week you learned that if you listen to the don'ts and the musts and the impossibles, that isn't any way to do, because anything can happen and anything will happen. So this week, It's on the razor's edge. You're just darn it, they're on the razor's edge. And so the trap is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So the razor's edge is truly the most uncomfortable position a person could find themselves. The cloud of unrest is following you through your days and even into your sleep time. You're probably feeling it on this razor's edge. You're feeling burned out and a decreased performance in every single part of your life. You wake up feeling trapped and you go to sleep feeling trapped and see no light at the end of the tunnel. Well, this kind of thinking will get you more miserable results. And I know you don't want the results you will get. So I'm going to explore this topic of being on the razor's edge with you. To start out, maybe you know somebody who is truly on that edge, or maybe you are feeling that you are on the edge of wanting, just on the brink of wanting change, but you just don't know how to go about it. Well, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are other people in the world that just live their lives in a kind of a silent desperation, unconsciously creating more of what they don't want and less of what they do want. And then they wonder why things are always happening to them. And many, many are completely unaware of how their thought processes work, how their beliefs and their subconscious is programming, has pre-programmed them into thinking this way. And they continue to create their reality in the way that they've seen it come before. It might be miserable, but it's comfortable. So I hear clients say that their mind, their actual mind is the enemy, and they hate the way they think. I really hear clients say that. And this is complete out of control thinking. It's just kind of like a runaway train down the wrong track. So goals, success, and happiness are something you cannot even imagine having, much less achieving them. When you're on that kind of edge, you just can't even think about goals or dreams, much less putting down a strategic plan for achieving them. Well, again, you are not alone in this way of thinking. All you have to do is turn on the TV or just push the button and start Facebook to see how people's thinking has gone crazy and how they are so addicted to just acting out their dramas and tragedies and then posting them on Facebook so other people can say, oh yes, I had someone who experienced that too, or I experienced it that too. And pretty soon you just have a whole thread going of uncomfortable thoughts that are not going to help you get to your dreams or your goals. So there are many reasons that you fall into a trap this bad of fearful and crazy thinking that it just manifests more crazy. First of all, you might think your mind is the enemy. Do you? You might think you're powerless against circumstances and events. You think your thoughts cannot possibly be the things that's working against you. You can't stop thinking about what you said or did or you shouldn't have done. Your mind just goes crazy with all those shoulds and should-haves. You can't have a lot of shoulds, musts, needs, and don'ts rattling around in your thought patterns that continually go on to autopilot when you are around others. Or you carry around a burden of grievances, revenge, and look for ways to vent those feelings to others. Or you are so addicted to the feelings of proving yourself a bad person, where bad things happen to you, that you find yourself causing additional pain. Well, by compulsively thinking how wrong it is and how unfair life is, you just prove once and for all that you are a bad person, like you always said you were. Bad genes, bad person. Yeah, you do this to yourself. Now, how do I escape from the trap that I've found myself in? Well, first of all, know that you are more powerful than your thoughts, beliefs, and subconscious programming, and that you are currently creating your life. Only can you change it when you take that kind of responsibility. Only can you find tremendous power when you realize that you're creating it in the first place. So look what you have created with your inner world against what you want. Now you can begin to use your true power, that true power within, to make that same inner world work for you. Know the good feelings they're just infectious, as the bad feeling thoughts were. One is happy, infectious. The others are infectious too. We all love our dramas. But we don't have to live them. Know that when you are at the bottom, you're at that very bottom and you demand change, change is going to come in the most unsuspected ways. So be on the lookout in your life for that, because your source, your energetic, all that you are, is always, always bringing you more in alignment with itself. And that may seem like a strange road for you to take, but it's always for your best self. I know it doesn't feel very good when you're on that razor's edge, but this is true. Wisdom books, old wisdoms, ancient wisdoms all prove this. When things are about to change for the better, you are being urged in a new direction. So be aware of it. Watch for the signs and then take them. Get on that Cannonball Express and take those new roads. And now some very, very good news. How never to be caught in a trap again. You know, it's a universal law that the universe fully supports you in every thought you choose to believe. This is the law of nature, and the universe is going to reflect back to you exactly on what you're focused on. The universe has no value judgments. It has no judgment whether it's positive or negative that you're putting out when it comes to your life. So you need to be aware that the idea of the dark night of the soul is really an illusion of the mind. You need to be aware that you have a noble birthright, and the truth will melt any negative thought patterns when you remember it. And that there are two kinds of ego. One is the unripe ego that can lead you into unending ways of trouble. The other is the ripe ego, which connects you with your higher, most noble part of you. Now, the safe attitude you can take is that you are an instrument for the noblest part of you. Forget that littleness and get into the bigger vision. Adopt higher ideals and upliftment for yourself and for others. You know, you can make or unmake your outer conditions by your thoughts or your feelings. If you're full of trust, you can change the whole order of things in the outer life. If your traps are the result of wrong thinking, wrong point of view, you can remove these thoughts by adopting a more discriminating mind. So find better feeling thoughts and know in the deepest part of you that you do have a nobility of purpose. This is your divine birthright. Now you may still stumble and fall and have bad days, but by effort of faith in your best self, you can find a better way. Now, as you practice this new way of thinking, and it does take practice, but it's fun, the little limited ways of thinking are going to fall away. And will trouble and sorrow and disappointment will fall away too. And any people in your universe, in your known universe, who also hold disappointment, sorrow, trouble, those kinds of things, will actually fall away too. And they'll come back when they have adopted a better, more productive point of view that's in alignment with yours. So for yourself, number one, just be easy on yourself during this transitional phase. You know, whether you want lasting effects on your character, you must not expect to do it too quickly. It just doesn't happen quickly, or it will not last. If it's done too quickly, it's kind of like a fire that is only lit with paper. It goes up in a flash, like that. But if you take time and you make your fire with both paper and logs, dry logs, then you'll have a fire that will last you and warm you for a very, very long time. So the good vibrations that lack fear, self-serving motives, or bargaining will manifest a great noble life that is your birthright. So what did you learn? What did you learn here, being so deep in this trap, that you are saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm on the razor's edge, I'm sick and tired, and I want it over now? Or else, what did you learn? Well, one thing you learned is that your most expanded best self is always urging you to be more in alignment with your best self. And if you're feeling any less than this, the call gets louder. The knocks on your shoulder get louder. The knocks on the head get louder until the universe, your very best self, gets your attention. So if you're at the bottom, you're going to be actively searching a way out of this misery. It just doesn't feel good anymore. You learned also that you have a noble birthright and that you can claim it by applying the laws of the universe. It is a universal law that the universe fully supports you in every single thought you believe. This is the law of nature, that the universe will reflect back to you what you are focused upon. Like attracts like. The universe has no value judgments. Can't blame it. Whether it's positive or negative you're putting out there, it just comes whatever you give it. It's a matcher of your energy. And you will benefit. You will benefit so greatly by following the tips on how to get out of your worst trap you find yourself in, by following this inspirational knowledge and advice. And how do you do that successfully? Well, number one is just know that every single day, every single moment, change and lasting change is happening. And know that it takes time and it takes practice, but it is fun practice. So take the advice giving, and first of all know that your current trap is, if your current trap is so dark, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And your most expanded self is waving that light. Look for clues as how to get out of that tunnel into the bright sunlight of fun and inspiration and discovery, energy. And the last one is just expectancy. Expect change. Feel change is coming. Expect it even before it gets here. And now to the practical application of my broadcasts. The most practical application of all this material that I just shared with you is always the higher feeling thought. And trust that the higher feeling thoughts are always waiting for you to find them. Know that your thoughts are powerful, very powerful. And by taking the time to learn more about how you created your current situation is well worth your time and energy. Practice, practice, practice is well worth your time and energy. Find out how to be a deliberate chooser of things that are in your life. You know, every day you eat and sleep, and every day, all day and all night, you think and think. And you can choose what you eat. You can choose what time you go to bed. And you can choose the thoughts you think. It's all possible. So that's it for today. I think that was a really good broadcast on how to get off the razor's edge and be victorious over your life. And I'm looking forward to touching base with you again with another great broadcast. Now, next week is my week off. I take the last weekend in every month off, pat myself on the back, be good to me. And so I will see you the first Saturday in June with another great broadcast. And I think I'm going to have Mary Lynn Monroe, the master storyteller, there with me on that broadcast. So bye for now. In the meantime, check me out at sandralongmore.com. I'm on Facebook. Everything's under my name, sandralongmore.com. Even my iTunes and CCN is under Sandra Longmore. So make it nice and easy on you. Also, I've got something really coming up that I'm very excited about. It's a course on beginning coaching. And whether you want to be a coach or you want to find out what coaching's about or you want just some helpful processes on law of attraction or learn more about what law of attraction is, I have put together I think there are about 20 modules right now on Jigsaw, and I will be launching that. I think Monday on Memorial Day I'm going to be launching that. And if you use the coupon for Creating Calm Network is CCN, yes, Creating Calm Network. If you use that coupon, you get $35 off the regular price, and the regular price is going to be $75. So I know you're going to really like this information. I loved putting it together. I think it's going to be extremely effective for people who are just getting used to how to leverage their best self into getting more of what they do want and less of what they don't want. So get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you. And from now until June, have a great, fantastic, fabulous, fun time. Bye for now.